Western Art Museum, which opened up back in 2014. It's named after late Texas Governor Dolph Briscoe. In here you'll find a lot of really amazing Western artifacts. They have Pancho Villa's last known saddle on display. A lot of really cool interactive exhibits within it as well, like a big diorama of the Alamo that you can walk through and explore. So before that building was the museum it is today, it actually used to be the San Antonio Public Library. So one thing you'll notice throughout our tour this afternoon, a lot of buildings have been reused and repurposed. A big reason why we have so much history down here. Right here you'll understand why there's no standing on board. There's a lot of low bridges like that iron one. We don't want anyone to get hurt, but as long as you can stand, I promise you'll be good. Now coming up next on our tour, take a look here to my right. This is Marriage Island. This little heart-shaped island hosts over 300 weddings on it every year. Almost every day you'll see either a wedding ceremony or even proposal happening right here on this heart-shaped island. That iron structure sitting on top commemorates the very first Catholic Mass held on the river. Now coming up guys, let me know if I'm good to go. I know there's a couple of baby ducks swimming around up there on the right. Try to go around them. So this river, the ducks always have right of way. Now around here you'll see different weddings and ceremonies happening all year round. People often come over here to take their graduation pictures, their wedding photos. But back in the 1800s, this section of the river used to be a much shallower than it is now. People would often just cross their wagons right through here as they were traveling through the city. They would stop and clean their buggies in the water, feed their horses nearby. They even had a grinding mill right next door. So this area has always been very useful and popular, even back in the 1800s. Now as we straighten out our boat guys, if you look straight ahead down there, up there on the street level, that big red brick building you see with the green rooftop, straight ahead, that's our Bexar County Courthouse. It's open today and it is the longest continuously ran courthouse in Texas. It opened up in 1896. Now, if you want to see my favorite building, guys, take a look up high to our left right here. This is the Tower Life building. Today, it's the only 8-sided high-rise left in the United States. You see, it was constructed almost 100 years ago in the late 1920s by the Smith-Young Company. The company who designed this building were very superstitious, though. See, when they were constructing it, they used a type of architecture called Neo-Gothic. Now if you look way up there on the ledges, these are gargoyles that stick out. Those gargoyles up there also work as water spouts. So when it rains hard in the city, they shoot water from their mouths. It's pretty cool if you get to see it. Now in addition to that, take a look right here above the tree line, above the first floor. You see right here all along the window trim, there's little tiny ugly faces that go along the building right here. Can you see them? Right above the first floor. These little grotesque, those gargoyles all the way up there at the top. This was all a part of that neo-Gothic style of architecture. Back then they really believed it would help to ward off evil spirits, prevent any bad business from heading their way. Now unfortunately for them, it didn't plan out so well. They opened up their building in 1929. As you recall, in October the stock market crashed. Sadly they went bankrupt and lost their building just a few years later, but they had to sell it. Now, if you want to see something pretty cool, take a look behind us up there, back at the Tower Life building. It might be kind of hard to see with the sun, but from this angle, that building kind of looks like a big ship heading to us. It's pretty cool. You have a better look at those gargoyles up there as well. Now right here, guys, heads up, I have to honk the horn 2 times. We're about to head into a deeper part of the river for just a little bit, guys. Now, in just a minute, we're going to be exiting out of this floodgate here. This is floodgate number 4. If you look to our sides, you'll see the indents. Now, floodgate 4 works like a drawbridge. It comes up from underneath the river beneath us when it's activated. The floodgates work together to control the water level during severe weather. As we head out of this floodgate, we're entering the flood bypass channel here. This is the deepest section of the river, where the river reaches up to 18 feet deep. Now take a look back there to our left. After that second street bridge, you'll see the river just disappears. There's a big waterfall after it, about a 14 foot drop. So our boats can't really head any further south than this. But the river, of course, will continue on. The river will eventually empty right into the Gulf of Mexico. It'll travel another 148 miles southeast of here. Those sidewalks back there also continue another 8 miles. You can walk all the way to the missions from here. Now continuing our tour over on the right side, we have the Jury Plaza Hotel. They gifted our city with this sidewalk that's on the right. Makes it a lot easier to get around down here. You can pretty much follow the sidewalks in one big circle. Bring it back right to where you started. Now a little history to how the Riverwalk all got started. So back in 1921, it all kind of started with a big flood. So in 1921, the city had a really horrific flood. The waters reached 8 feet above the streets or passing underneath. Sadly, many people lost their lives in it, and it cost the city millions of dollars in damages. So to prevent it from ever happening again, San Antonio drew up plans to pave over the river and get rid of it for good to prevent it from ever happening again. But when the Conservation Society heard about those plans, they really wanted to protect and save the river, of course, but they were unsure how to do it if it would even be possible. So they worked together and hired an architect named Robert Huckman to help begin plans for the Riverwalk that we have today. That was throughout the mid-1920s, but almost 100 years ago, Robert Huckman knew what this could all be, what the Riverwalk would be for the city, its economy. He worked in the floodgate system to redirect the river south to prevent any flooding from happening downtown. He designed the waterfalls, sidewalks, bridges, everything down here. He really knew what this could all be. But due to the Great Depression, for funding reasons, all the plans were put on hold for several years. It wasn't until 1947 when they officially opened the Riverwalk here. So we have Robert Huckman to thank for all of this down here. Now in a bit, we're about to head back into the downtown area. But before we do that, guys, I want to point out right in front of us, this is the tallest and the oldest tree on the river. This cypress tree is over 250 years old. It's called the Ben Milam tree, named after Benjamin Milam. He was a Mexican sniper who was known to climb this very tree to take down the Texans who were come to get water from nearby. Now as we head into this floodgate right here, guys, this one is housed above us like a giant garage door. It weighs 3 tons. It takes about 15 minutes for it to lower down when it's activated. This is floodgate number 3. During severe weather, the city controls the floodgates. They'll lower that gate, raise the one we came out of earlier. It isolates the section of the river that we're in now, pretty much just redirecting that rainwater south of us past that big waterfall we saw earlier. So we've never had to worry about flooding down here thanks to the floodgates. Now, coming back in here, you're going to see a lot more people, more restaurants and shops. The oldest bar is here to my right side, the Esquire Tavern. Now, the Esquire opened up in 1933, just 5 minutes after they ended Prohibition, with a fully stocked bar. If you head in there, you'll find they have some pretty good food as well. They also boast to have the longest wooden bar countertop in Texas. It's over 100 feet long of beer-soaked wood. Well, next to the oldest bar on the river, this is a pretty new bar, Domingo. This restaurant as well opened up about 1.5 years ago. One of the newer additions to the river. Now, coming up next to the right of our boat, you'll find the Aztec Theater, a very beautiful and historic theater, opened up in 1926 as a black and white silent movie theater. How's it going, guys? Now, if you look way up there at the top, you spot the Aztec goddess with its tongue sticking out. Throughout the late 20s, 30s, people would come here for a movie, for a show. Artists, performers like Charlie Chaplin had performed in here before. These days, the Aztec has been renovated. It hosts concerts, wrestling matches, all types of different events. Now, coming up next, we have Selena's Bridge. This small little footbridge we're about to pass underneath was named after Tejano singer Selena Quintanilla Perez. Back in 1997, Jennifer Lopez filmed the movie Selena down here. In the movie, there's a scene which they filmed right above this bridge. Ever since it was released, people often come to the bridge here to honor Selena's legacy, sing her songs, propose to their loved ones. It's become a very loving bridge as well. Now, coming up on my right side, guys, you're going to see a lot of restaurants coming up as we head into the most popular part of the river. We have Waxy O'Connor here, Iron Cactus, Ostra. So Rita's on the river here to my right supposedly has the strongest margaritas on the Riverwalk. Right after it, we have Justin's Ice Cream Company. There you'll find handmade ice cream. They have all types of desserts and treats. They have shots, they have cocktails, ice cream, ices, lemonades, all of that good stuff. Up ahead, we have a lot of restaurants to still see. The next highlight of our tour is actually pretty cool. It's an optical illusion, so you might want to get your cameras ready. Now, as soon as we come out from underneath this bridge, guys, take a look up high to the left of our boat at this building coming up. If you look way up high at it, you'll see it appears to look like a freestanding wall. Just look directly up high to our left right now at this building. Thanks for our next picture or video. This here is the Knicks. The Knicks building was a hospital when it first opened up in 1921. It was the first fully functioning air-conditioned hospital in our nation. It offered everything from major surgery to a Band-Aid all in one spot up until 2018. I also want to mention that comedian and actress Carol Burnett was born right inside of that very building 90 years ago. Now, as we approach River Square here, you'll find all the popular restaurants here. To my right side, there's County Line Barbecue, Hard Rock Cafe, Paisano's Italian Restaurant, right here right beneath the Harley Davidson store. A lot of seafood restaurants are on the left, like Joe's Crab Shack, Bubba Gump, and Landry's Seafood House. And while we come around the corner, then ahead, the Hyatt Regency Hotel. So I want to mention that the Alamo sits across the street from this hotel here. So if you're looking for a quick way to get from the river straight to the Alamo, you can just take these double doors right here. They'll take you through an atrium filled with waterfalls and the fountains. A quick way to get to the Alamo. Right in front of the Alamo, you can catch the hop-on, hop-off tour buses, the horse-drawn carriages as well. I'll begin around there. Now, around this time, you begin to see the mariachi singers performing at restaurants. Later on in the evening, there'll be a live band out here, artists doing paintings, caricature drawings, stuff like that. Right here at River Square. This is always the most popular part of the river. All the restaurants offer riverside dining. As you see, you can enjoy your meal out by the river. The Rainforest Cafe, Dick's Last Resort, and Lone Star are all on our left. If you're looking to pick up some souvenirs to take back home or do some shopping, take a look here to my right side. Here you'll find Five and Dime. All types of souvenir gift shops in these areas. The Chocolate Factory just a few doors down from it. So you guys are perfectly fine to walk down here with your beer, wine, cocktails, anywhere along the river. As long as you don't take your drinks up to the street level, you'll be fine. Just make sure to stay hydrated out there. Here to my right side with the green umbrellas, we have Boudreaux's. Cafe Ole here to my left side has the largest margaritas on the river. It's a 60-ounce margarita. Takes two people just to order it. Where's it? Standby right here. So if you go right up these stairs, guys, to my left side behind Cafe Ole, you'll find a lot of really great bars like Pat O'Brien's, The Basement. There's a really cool throwback bar as well called Big Country Wine. There's arcade games in there as well. Shiloh's is a block down from here. It's a really nice German restaurant. There's a lot of great restaurants off the river as well. After all the restaurants, we've seen this last one here. This is Casa Rio. It's actually the oldest restaurant on the river. Casa Rio opened up in 1946, just 1 year before the Riverwalk had officially opened up. Now, they actually even started all the boat activity you see down here today. Around the late 60s, they would take their customers of gondola boat rides. Right around the river, when they got back, their food would be done. It's kind of how this all got started. Right here, I'll slow down the boat for a moment. Now this area may look very familiar to you guys. We started our tour just straight ahead in front of that Market Street Bridge. We basically made one big circle, one big loop around the river. Before we end our tour, we're going to make a little detour here, heading into the man-made extension. But this part of the river was created and added on in the late 60s as San Antonio prepared to host the Hemisphere World's Fair of 1968. The World's Fair was a huge and important event in our city's history. A festival which happened out here in the city. It went on for 6 months. A great way to put our city on the map. At the same time, boost the city's economy. So San Antonio really took advantage of it. They sent out invites to everyone around the world to come down and check out the fair. Of course, back then there was, social media or Facebook, ways to get the word around. Besides the word of mouth, so it really depended on that. So to make it a bigger event, San Antonio put on different events all year round. Because not only was it the World's Fair, but San Antonio was also celebrating the city's 250th anniversary that year. So they put on all different types of shows and events all year round to really help get the word out, to help bring in more people. At the end of the year, over 7 million people had walked right through those festival gates. So it was a very important event for our city's history, a very successful one at that. Now as we come through here, guys, take a look over to the right side. You're going to see a big, beautiful waterfall in just a moment. Now every little waterfall, every fountain you've seen so far, all have a purpose. Of course, they help to agitate the water and put oxygen back into the river. Now, I'm sure you've seen all the ducks swimming around, the baby ducks. There's many types of wildlife in this river. There's turtles in here, all types of fish as well, like trout, catfish, tilapia, sunfish, and bass. So every little waterfall, every fountain you see really helps to keep the wildlife going. Now, there's no fishing allowed in the main downtown area here, but past that big waterfall we saw earlier, the big drop, southbound from there is where you'll see a lot of people fishing, bringing their kayaks and paddle boards, just making a day, enjoying themselves on the San Antonio River. Now as we come around the corner, you're going to see a new art installation. Straight ahead we have Stargazer. It's a statue which was just unveiled 1 year ago. Stargazer is a woman looking through a white star at the sky above, created of volcanic rock and marble by a Mexican artist named Pedro Reyes. Now right here, guys, I'm going to pause the boat for a moment because I also want to point out our Tower of the Americas. Take a look here to our right. It stands at 750 feet tall. At the top is a revolving restaurant, bar, and observation deck. It makes one complete turn every hour. So while you're up there, you get to see different parts of the city passing by. It's pretty cool. Our Tower of the Americas there. It's the second tallest freestanding observation tower in the United States, after the Stratosphere in Las Vegas, beating out the Space Needle in Seattle, by the antenna at least. Right here we have another one of our tour locations. Alright guys, so as we head underneath the bridge here, we'll be entering River Center Mall. So it's one of the only malls you'll find around Texas with a river running right through it, just like this. Makes it very unique. Surrounding us here are over 115 stores. There's about 20 more restaurants in here as well. If you take a look to our left here, you'll find Margaritaville, the Sugar Factory, Fat Tuesday, the Yard House is right above us. There's a Man Shark here, Borden Steakhouse, Johnny Rockets, Witch, Chipotle, Starbucks, a ton of other restaurants as well. And the food court is actually right in front of us through those glass windows. So you can even kind of peep in there and see what's going on. So we're going to make our way around the lagoon here, kind of take it all in. River Center Mall was created 35 years ago, back in 1988. It's over 1 million square feet of shopping. But besides all the restaurants and shops, in here are Also, two movie theaters. There's an AMC movie theater, an IMAX. If you take a look behind me right now, if you look up there on the third floor, they have an area to zip line in there, a rock climbing area as well. Riverside Mall has an arcade. There's a Dave and Buster's, a Legoland, a Sea Life aquarium. A lot of cool places to check out while you're here at the mall. And the Alamo is right next to the mall right here as well. So if you're ever confused or looking for it,